Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Diablo 3. We are just working on our legendary gems, so it's going to be a lot of rifting today. In the last episode we picked up the Convention of Elements, and I was actually thinking that it might be worth us doing some bounties at some point so that we can get on to re-rolling various bits of equipment, but that's not going to be today. For now, I've just spent a little bit of money going through customizing our equipment. So that we look slightly more appropriate for our wonderful, wonderful Hydra-based build. In fact, if I go like that, you can see better. So, yeah, I've swapped over the etched sigil, and I've swapped over Death Wish, just visually, of course. So we've got Azure Wrath, and I think that's Winter's Flurry. And everything else I've picked based on what looked the most kind of serpentine. Because as nice as Typhon set is, it doesn't really feel Hydra-esque. And that's not a criticism of the design or anything like that. That's just like a personal, personal interpretation. It feels very woodland, I think. Like if it was a druid one, like all naturey and stuff, I would have totally gone for it. Or if it had gone down the Gorgon Medusa style, that would have also worked. It just didn't really feel right. And also this way I'm kind of using the same weapon as Cormac. So just as a reminder, with the Convention of Elements, we periodically do, I think it's 160% extra damage. So that's like 2.5 times our normal amount, which is pretty solid. It's not a perfect roll, but it's good enough that we're going to be able to push on further. And in just a moment, we're going to get our 600th level, so I'm going to start putting the difficulty up for us. I'll probably put it up by a couple at a time until it feels like too dangerous. Still using Nemesis braces, of course. Doing absolutely wonders for our speed through the various rifts and things. And the intention for these rifts is to get 3 gems up to 70 so that we've ticked off that objective, and then we can do Countersands Despair. There is number 600. Still got shield pylon. I walked away because I hadn't looked in a moment, and I wasn't sure how long there would be left on it. Let's kill these guys just in case we need to retreat. Actually, while I've got the shield pylon, we'll get this open as well. Take full advantage of being invulnerable. Now, obviously, with poison everywhere, we've got to be careful we don't end up retreating forwards. It is always the danger in this game. I mean, unless we're intentionally moving forwards because we've cleared the area out sufficiently, that's allowed, of course. When you run into an area and all of a sudden things start dying near you and kicking out horrible clouds of green ick. It can be a bit much to keep track of. Let's scratch my nose just for a second. Been doing a bit of work in the garden. So, to give a timescale context, it's the long bank holiday weekend for me at the moment. So it's Good Friday if you're religious. And if you're not religious, then, it would normally be a day out of the office if we weren't in lockdown, when every day is a day out of the office. certainly I don't have any work to do, so I've been doing a bit of stuff in the garden, and with this glorious sunshine that's come overhead, I've decided that it's time to step in, have a spot of lunch, which I've already done, and play some Diablo. Conduit pylon, that's going to be lovely. Nightmarish is not, however. Nightmarish is all kinds of annoying and frustrating. Let's just try and drag some of them out the way with Black Hole so we can move past. Okay, we got another pylon. That is a lot of mobs that came out of that. Or maybe it was just big mobs that came out of it. A little spot of electricity from Mr. Ghosty. Oh, up to 97%. Alright. These guys should be enough to finish this off. There we go. Man Carver! Alright, well, Man Carver, you went down really quickly. Convention of Elements ticked round and his health just shot down. So we'll grab all of this. And the points are going to go in Bane of the Trapped. It's a shame you can't do assign all when it's 100% chance. I would love to put more in here, but alas, it is what it is. All right, well, let's head back to town. Hand this in, and then we'll go for another one at a higher difficulty, 604. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so now we're starting to get gold find, life regen, attack speed, and of course the main stats we're keeping evenly spread. Ooh, another puzzle ring. Well, we could go back to the vault.
My final wish is that you find your path. Love always.
All the rest of these are gonna go. We are so lucky with our current Death Wish. It's ancient and it's got 320% on it. It's just so good. Measuresmith's Reva. I think that's one of the ones where they've revamped the ability. Reduce the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you slay an enemy. If you're slaying enemies really quickly, especially like in Archon mode, that could be really, really good. Yes, we're going to keep the puzzle ring. Everything else is going to get salvaged up. We won't do the puzzle ring just yet. Mostly because if we wait just a moment, we'll have more gold find. And that's the only reason to delay. We'll put it up to 83. We can definitely afford this. And we've almost certainly got the power to get through this. Certainly for the trash mobs. They're not going to be that much of a concern. It's the guys like this that we might have to consider. I mean, things are definitely lasting noticeably longer. Noticeably longer can just be a fraction of a second. I mean, it doesn't have to be much difference, but... That was a little bit close going around that corner. Probably shouldn't have gone at that time. If I'd gotten caught by that, that could have one-shotted me easily. That is something I would like to test when we find the next one that's down to one little bit. Like how much of my shield is left, if any, and how much my health is left, if any. These guys are all going to explode together, which is a shame. Might have been able to get into that last one, but I wasn't certain it was only one of them, and it's got to be a fair test. Yeah, now that I can see that these guys aren't really doing that much to us, we're fine to push on. Okay, got ourselves another pylon. Okay, this one we can test. Okay, it took off like all of our shield and half of our health. So it took off about 1 million. But that was just one going off, and it didn't one-shot us. Now, I wasn't attacking at the time, so we didn't have our shield deflection shield up either, which would, of course, give us a little bit more survivability. But it was in a very controlled environment. What I'm trying to say is I reckon we can put the difficulty up a little bit more. It's not dangerous enough where I'm going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Right, got them done up to 606. I feel like our leveling speed is kind of getting back to where I'd like it to be. Yeah, Cormac is falling over now, so that also means that our healing options are going to be reduced. It might be worth us spending some resources to get him invincibility. Just so we can manage that side of our game plan. You know, keep him alive to keep us alive. Which I think is fair. I mean, it's not a bad strategy. I scratch his back with some resources. He constantly heals my back. Get a nice black hole on these guys to yank them around a bit. 99%. Alright, we're doing it in the next area then. Now this zapping is going to help, but it's got 14 trillion health. I think that's like... It's not double, but it's almost double. Because I think he was on 8 when it was 80. Okay, this is going to go on to Enforcer. 2 gems to 60. Yeah, the leveling is definitely a lot slower. Promise of Glory is ancient, but that just means we're going to get more stuff out of it. Dovu Energy Trap, I'm pretty certain we've got one. So, salvage, salvage. Tamara Spray, salvage. Necromancer Boots, they can go. Triumvirate, we've already got. Light of Grace, I think we've got. Maybe not. And Ancient Poxfold. Yeah, we'll salvage all of those up. Now, in terms of Greater of Keystones, we don't have any, so we'll do a little bit of gambling with Kadala. At this point, I think what I'll be doing is I'll be looking at what the weakest of my items is and trying to improve on that. And at this point, I think it's going to be the helmet. If we can get intelligence and vitality rather than intelligence and armor.
What? I didn't even know I had that thing. That will look nice.
I can't pick up anything else.
So, Andariel's goes, Broken Crown goes, Shrouded Mask goes.
You look like you could use a new item of do come back again.
I can't afford that.
No. It's just, you know, there's always going to be a small chance that we actually end up getting it. The other thing I could do is I could gamble for stuff that we could use on Cormac. So I could gamble for shields, for instance, and try and get him something better than the Storm Shield. That's not a terrible idea. I might do that in the future. But regardless of all that, let's go to the vault, and then we'll do a rift. So with the tiny bit of extra gold find that we have, we're taking full advantage. And we're going to get some death's breaths and things out of this at least. Well, actually, he didn't have terrible drops, that guy. Ooh, a ring. If that's a convention of elements, it might be better than our current one. Oh, yes! Awesome. Gelatinous spawns just means we're going to kill a load and get a ton of stuff. Look at all this. Suffice to say, we're full. And we're going to need to go back to town. So we'll do some IDing quickly. Don't think there's going to be much interesting in there, but you never know. The crudest boots. I mean, that's a very nice corrupted Ashbringer. That is surprisingly awesome. All this is going to go under the hammer. Even the Firebird's Eye, I think. Yeah, we've got 2 spares. Ancient Blackthorn's Cross. I didn't even really look at it before because I was like, yeah, we honestly don't care about that. Of course it was ancient. Just a reminder, we are still looking to finish upgrading our gems, and then we're going to need more later, so we're probably going to want to transmute some of the others across. Which we're going to Act 2 and getting the essence of yellow. Essence of topaz, I think it is. I don't remember if it's named the same as the gem or if it's like some similar yellowy thing. Either way. Money! Oh, 186. Pretty much every time we run low on money, the game is giving us a puzzle ring. And it's just ticked around onto cold. And she didn't even last a couple of seconds. Okay. A sword, wizard hat, pants, and a thing.
Returning to town.
Crown of the Primus? Yeah. Typhon's abdomen. The intelligence is worse, the vitality is worse, the armor is worse. So overall, let's not. Let's call that a fail. We'll keep it. Keep it as a spare. We'll salvage up the rest of the stuff we've got and then hop into a rift. A little bit more attack speed. These little bits of attack speed are really going to start eating into our resources. So it is something that we're going to have to get used to. I do very much like this as an area to be in. I think there's going to be a lot of very cool mobs for us to fight. Good density of elites. That's what I always find in here. Now, if we got lucky with positioning and stuff, this is one that we could probably do in a decent time. Did I leave that? I thought I picked that up. Guys, stop jumping right on me. It's really rude. So really, we have to see if we can keep the momentum up. But I'm not racing with this. I am very much not racing. He says racing around. Awesome, he dropped all of his orbs right on top of each other. Yeah, good number of mobs still. Now this isn't GR80, but I still don't want to stand in those explosions when they go off. Right, we'll kill these bits and then we'll move on past that little edge that I saw. Nothing that way that we care about. This is not going to be a fast one. Especially if there's nothing to actually kill in here. Oh, this is better. Yay, cool, shrine. Come on, give me the Rift Guardian. Lovely. Let's head back to town. We'll hand it in just in case that was fast enough to do anything. Yeah, Swift Rifter. That was fast enough for the Guardian level domination. So that was under 4 minutes at Torment 16. That I'm proud of. We got a level as well, so that goes in there. And what did we get? Salvage, 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 and salvage. Unsurprising. But the most important thing is we got 3 more Greater Rift Keystones, so let's hop in and start using those. Yeah, we'll put this up to 85 now. Make sure I get all my benefits. So I actually got hit relatively hard in that, but I think it's just because everything was so super busy. So we had to step away just for a moment to make sure that the area was going to stay safe. Yeah, pushing up to 85, not a problem. Just 2 swings from mobs will significantly hurt us. Like, significantly hurt us. Okay, I think we're ready for this. Shielding's annoying. Shielding combined with mortar, even more so. Because these guys do that weird dive forwards thing. I'm very concerned about the potential to die thinking I'm at range when I'm not actually at range. I think we're doing okay though. 85 feels like the right level of terror for the moment. Terrifying. How do you think it feels? Now I've always said you can just like sit at the lower levels and grind stuff out, and you will eventually gain levels and power and gradually get stronger, but it's never going to be as enjoyable as having that actual risk that you're going to make a mistake, that you're going to die, that things aren't going to go your way. And sometimes it is just that, you know, things didn't go your way through no fault of your own specifically. Yeah, we can do this now. Really want to make sure that this area is clear before we go on, because it is getting increasingly more likely that we're going to have to retreat at some point. Ooh, no, don't explode on me. That wouldn't be pleasant. Okay, we've got guys that turn into poison when they die. That's frustrating, but manageable. I mean, we're doing plenty well on the time. Just looking at it objectively, we could go a lot slower through these and we'd still be okay. The real problem starts coming when you're trying to balance going through at a decent pace and then having enough time left to kill the Rift Guardian. About to tick onto cold. There we go. They were so large I couldn't really see where they were standing. Nice one, Cormac. Get them all gathered up for me. I think so many times I give him Oculus and the S of Johan, and I've never regretted that combination. After that, it's a question mark for what's going to be most useful. Like Unity or Justice Lantern, depending on whether he's going to be blocking and freezing stuff. With the freezing deflection. I do want to get him the freezing deflection. Or if he's supposed to be helping us out with our damage reduction. There we go. Rift Guardian while we've got this lovely shield. 19 trillion health. And there he goes. Let's grab all of this stuff. She. Please put it in Bane of the Powerful. And I think we'll probably keep it at this level for a little bit. In fact, no, we can probably put it up a little bit more. I'm just going to have to be more careful. Oh wait, I need to hand it in. I was just thinking, that's not many levels for us to be getting. I mean, it's still not hugely large numbers of levels, but... Alright. Salvage. I'll hold on to that just to put it with our collection, but we're not going to use it. Salvage, salvage. Another Deathwish salvage, salvage, salvage. Salvage and salvage. Kadala. Let's talk about shields. I know it's weird.
Don't forget, luck always changes.
Hey, we got him the freeze of deflection. So this is great. Blocking an attack has a chance to freeze the attacker. It's not the best roll on it, but if we give him Justice Lantern now, instead of Unity, so this is just directly increasing his block chance. It also gives him some damage reduction. So his block chance is 31%. That's another 15% damage reduction that he's got from this. in addition to the 90%. So it doesn't actually need to be invulnerable to be useful to us at this point. We'd want to do re-rolling on his various bits of equipment anyway as time goes on, like get the probably reforge the entire thing on another character, on a strength-based character. I think that's probably the only thing that I don't like about the game is if you're going for specific weapons and things for your followers, it needs to be appropriately attributed to them. Let's put that there. We're going to just get rid of Storm Shield. So already he is more useful than he was. There's no real point in us giving him a ruby in his various gems and things. So in his various rings in the sockets, just because he's not doing nearly enough damage. $74,522, as opposed to it's like less than a tenth, and it doesn't scale in the same way. It's sweet, but he is not a damage dealer. He is a blocking freeze machine, and that's how he's going to stay. I meant to put the difficulty up. Oh well, I guess we're running again at 85. Obviously, I am incredibly aware of how dangerous oppressors are. Okay, let's head down here just for a moment. That is the way on. Okay, well, I don't want to go on just yet. Because there's probably more elites around. We can definitely take advantage of some of those. And knowing where the exit is means we've got the option of just going at any time. Plenty of mobs for us to kill in this bit. Wouldn't have been right to just go on and leave these alive. Now, down this way. An equally awesome area. Wow, these have got like 4 trillion health as well. That's as much as an old Rift Guardian would have had. And this is what I meant by survivability is not going to really be the bottleneck. It's going to be how fast we kill things. Because we can always slow down. We can always be a bit more cautious. But when things are getting into the trillions and trillions of health, it really does make a difference how fast you can kill them. And let's push on to the next area. I'm always very cautious with those pylons now, knowing that... unless it's a shield pylon, of course. If it's a shield pylon, then we'll just be super reckless with it. But knowing that if you get a Juggernaut or a shielding guy or something like that, you could end up in a whole world of hurt. Got to be a little bit more cautious at these levels. I guess we could just push on. I mean, it's not a particularly long rift, this one, but... Still got the shield, so... Let's use it while we got it. Shield is about to go, and that is a lot of poison around me. And this is the kind of mobs that I would worry about, because they're going to create huge swaths of land that we can't go on. Massively reducing our tactical options. If you can believe that I consider tactical options. 97%, nearly there. I think it's going to be in the next area. Okay.
Always wanted to find some of these.
Whereabouts are you, Rift Guardian? Veracity. On me, that's where you are. Lovely. So glad you could stop by. Let's get you killed. You and your 19 trillion health. Don't spit that at me. Scoundrel token. If we had a scoundrel, that would be okay. We do not, so it is not.
I am returning to town.
Alright, back to town we go. How many... We've got 102 Death's Breaths, so... Let's try and get him the one. We're going to try and give Cormac the upgrade that he's been looking for. So, upgrade rare item. Gain access to all skills? No. Follower cannot die. There we go. And it gives plus 16% chance to block, which takes his block chance to 47%. This is amazing for the freeze of deflection. That is really, really good. We can re-roll that armor potentially, or life per hit. There's so many different things that we can do to make his equipment better, but it's not worth us spending the Death's Breaths at the moment. But he is going to live forever now, and that's going to really help us out as we progress. So, Tower Rush's Grasp, Star of Askranth. I think that's new, so we'll store that. I think the rest are all just going under the hammer, though. Listen to the Undaunted will actually save this one. There we go. We've got an actual set. So in terms of things that we can... Oh yeah, let's put our various level points in. In terms of things that we can spend our Death's Breaths on, it's all going to be upgrades. We're going to talk to Kadala, and we're going to gamble for helmets. And we're going to try and get ourselves
That is too expensive.
a better Typhon Fronds. That is not Typhon's Fronds. That is not Typhon's Fronds. Alright, well, we'll salvage all that up. And I'm afraid that is going to be it for this episode. We have run out of time. But, you know, Cormac is doing awesomely. He's got his freeze of deflection. He's got his little invulnerability relic. So, yeah, good job, Cormac. Look at this. He looks so happy. In the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be much, but him being able to block and freeze mobs is going to help. Him being invincible means that he's going to be able to get to us and actually do the things that we need him to do. So it's pretty big. No, I want the rushing in and healing. Yeah, intervene is definitely the one that we want for this one. But yeah, as I said, we're out of time for this episode, so I'm going to call it there. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this. If you are enjoying these videos, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, see you next time for some more Diablo 3. See you soon.